In this video, we are going to have a look at the administrator permission control. Huawei's firewall supports a role-based access control model. We can control administrator permissions by defining different roles. Roles, in fact, means or determines the permission. For instance, for example, we can define various administrator roles like system administrator, configuration administrator, auditing administrator, or we can also define a user-defined role, or we can create a user-defined role. And each of these roles is going to have different levels of permissions like monitoring, configuration, and auditing, etc. We can, as I mentioned in the previous slide, we can create an administrator and using the graphic user interface, and we can assign a specific role to that administrator as is shown here in this slide. We create an administrator and we assign a specific role to that administrator, and whatever permissions are associated with that role, those permissions would be assigned to that administrator that we have created automatically by virtue of assigning him or her the role that we can see here. The default administrator roles that we have, they have certain fixed permissions, or they have certain set of permissions which are already assigned to them. So there are few administrator roles that we already saw that are already there in the firewall by default, and each role has its own corresponding permissions which determine which operations can be performed by any given role. Default roles and their corresponding permissions are shown here on the slide. So for example, the system admin role that you have, their permissions are shown here. They have all the permissions except the auditing. The configuration administrator, the device admin role, has all permissions except the audit function, like this. Also, the configuration administrator with the monitor functionality has the service monitoring permissions, and the auditing administrator, which is called the audit admin, here this role is dedicated for configuring auditing policies and viewing the audit logs. So these roles and associated permissions are responsible for doing the different management and administrative tasks on the USG firewall. Now in the next topic, let's take a look at Radius and HW TACACS or Huawei TACACS capabilities that are available on the USG firewall and which can be used for management and administration of USG firewall. First of all, let's take a look at the administrator authentication modes that are available to us. Huawei USG 6000 authenticates a user by using local authentication or server-based authentication. So there are two possible ways of authentication, local or server-based. In local authentication, both username and password are stored locally on the firewall, and the user is granted access after successful authentication using local user database. However, on the other hand, in server authentication, username and password are created and stored on the external authentication server. When user attempts to connect, credentials are sent to the external server, and on successful validation of username and password, requisite access is allowed to the user. There are two options of doing this authentication on the server side. One is the Radius authentication method, and the other one is HW TACACS or Huawei TACACS. First, let's take a look at the Radius authentication method. Radius stands for Remote Authentication Dial-in User Service. It is a client-server protocol that helps to authenticate dial-in users. Essentially, it was developed when there were a lot of dial-up networks, and data communication was supported by those dial-up networks. However, it is still used, even though the dial-up services are not being used as much today. Still, the protocol stays. A simple scenario is shown here on the slide in which management PC is trying to, just a minute, in which the management PC on which we are sitting is trying to access the Unified Security Gateway or USG, and the USG is also connected to the Radius server, and this Radius server has the username and the password database. In this scenario, the USG is acting as an agent or a client of Radius server, of the server, and sends credentials to the server for authentication purposes. So whenever a user tries to log into USG, the USG itself will not permit or deny access. However, it will send the credentials to Radius server for decision. If credentials are matched on the Radius server, access is allowed by the USG to the user here. Otherwise, if the credentials do not match, the access is going to be denied. So let's take an example of how Radius configuration would be done on the server or on the USG. On the USG, you can add a Radius server by defining primary Radius IP address, secondary Radius IP address, primary accounting IP address, and secondary accounting IP address. Similarly, the ports that are used here, the default ports are 1812 and 1812 for authentication and 1813 for accounting. And we also need to specify a shared secret key on both the Radius server and on the USG for secure communication. This shared key that we are going to configure on the USG must be the same as the one that has been configured on the Radius server as well. And now if we take a look at the HW-TACACS or Huawei TACACS. Huawei TACACS is an enhanced security protocol which is based on the traditional TACACS protocol. TACACS stands for Terminal Access Controller Access Control System. It is also used for authentication, authorization, and accounting of access users. HW-TACACS authorizes users through command lines. We will see how it's done. When the CLI mode is set to HW-TACACS in USG, each command that the user gives, it must pass HW-TACACS authorization and is only executed after it has been authorized. Without authorization, the commands are not going to be applied or the commands are not going to be executed. HW-TACACS also performs user level upgrades. Users can upgrade their user level using the super command. So if a user has a lower level of access, it can upgrade itself or upgrade its access level by using the super command. And the USG sends the user name and password to the TACACS server for authentication, and this upgrade can only take effect for the current login. It cannot be done permanently. It will only affect the current login that is being done using TACACS. Yeah. Let's take a look at the configuration example. We can add an HW-TACACS server on USG by defining primary and secondary authentication, authorization, and accounting IPs here. And we need to specify a shared secret once again, both on the TACACS server as well as on the USG for secure communication, and the port numbers are the default which are being used here. We have seen that there are two options that we have. One is the Radius and the other one is the HW-TACACS or Huawei TACACS. What are the different advantages and disadvantages of using both? So going through this table shows that HW-TACACS is more reliable in transmission and encryption and is more reliable for security control. HW-TACACS uses TCP, which provides reliable transmission, while Radius uses UDP, which is unreliable. That means the transport is going to be unreliable. HW-TACACS is more security focused and it encrypts the entire packet, whereas Radius only encrypts the password field in the packet. HW-TACACS also separates authorization from accounting, whereas Radius performs authentication and authorization together. So it does not separate the authorization and authentication, it does it together. This applies on security control, and this only applies to accounting. So this is more comprehensive. It provides better coverage and better security for your USG. Similarly, as we have already discussed this, HWTACX supports authorization of configured command lines, whereas Radius does not support the authorization of commands as are configured on the USG firewall. So these are some of the advantages of HWTACX. So whenever possible, you should always prefer using HWTACX for remote server authentication instead of using Radius, because HWTACX is more secure and more comprehensive. So in this video, we have looked at some of the other aspects of security on USG firewall, for example, Radius and TACX, and we already looked earlier at the firewall administrator roles and permissions. In the next video, we are going to look at log management on the USG firewall and look at the details of how logs are collected and how we can manage and monitor the USG firewall using the logs. So see you in the next video. Thank you.